So it is a very interesting business, living the one life of spirit together, isn't it? It's colorful, it's interesting, exciting, it's like a roller coaster. Sometimes you just want to scream. Anyway, the saving grace is that we can still live our dreams. We can live our lives the way that we want to live them in the midst of whatever is going on. Because heaven truly is here. We are immersed in it. In the middle of whatever looks difficult, perfection exists. We just have to get in alignment with it so that we can see it. And sometimes that means getting past our emotions, which just kind of take us over. So anyone ever do a fire walk? We have a few in the room. Yes, by choice, right? So I don't know, it was about 5 or 6 years, John, my husband, and I decided to go to a ministers' gathering in Asheville, North Carolina. And it was a pretty easy drive from Orlando, where we were living and had our center. And we had some family that we could see on the way. And John had made all of the arrangements. I was busy with other things, and I let him do that. And on the way that we're driving, he reminds me that they're going to have a fire walk. Now, my immediate reaction was not, "Oh, I can't wait." My immediate reaction was, "I may not do it." I was going to put that out there. Usually when I go to a retreat, I want to be filled up. I want to do nothing, pretty much. I don't want to have to force myself to do something difficult, because ministry is hard enough. Those ministers in the room and those others that are working with people, it's difficult enough. I wasn't going to make myself do anything that I didn't want to do. That's how I went in. So we arrived. We're having a good time. We're with colleagues. There's a lot of sharing and learning going on. But lurking in the back of my mind, you can imagine, what was I going to do about that upcoming fire walk? Well, the last day of the gathering took place, and this was it. A few ministers had decided not to participate. They said they had some things to do back in their room, some work. And the rest of us were sitting at these large tables in this room. And so opting out was still on the table. It was still open. We could opt out all the way till the very end. Now, the senior ministers, John and Barbara Waterhouse at this time, had done this fire walk many times at their center, so they were quite confident in the process. And John Waterhouse had us spend hours prepping us, describing the process, talking about how hot the coals were going to be. Now, I was asking myself at that time, because, I hadn't made up my mind yet, whether he was trying to sell us on the idea or talk us out of it. I know, he really just wanted us to know the facts, and the facts were that we were literally playing with fire. So we would go out during certain stages. We got to see it begin, the fires begin. We got to go out when there was a full roar, and then we got to go back, when it was, when there were hot coals. But as we waited for that, he talked about how we needed to focus and how we needed to do it. So the instructions were, when you walk on hot, glowing coals, you have to keep your eye on the other side. You have to keep your eye on the goal. You cannot look down at the coals. Because if you look down at the coals, you are doomed. Your feet will get burnt. You have to keep on walking. They knew of only one other woman who had a little problem because she was a nurse and she just couldn't get over the idea that her feet wouldn't get burned walking on the coals. So the science was a little bit of a block for her. So while we waited as it was getting closer to the end, they had us do something with our hands, like some kind of folding, like some kind of origami. And we were supposed to follow these directions. My head was a mess. I couldn't follow those directions, as simple as they were, at all. And I looked down at the table down from me, and there sat my friends Ken and Deb Gordon. Ken was the spiritual leader at the time, and I'm really feeling for him because I'm thinking, he has to do this. He has to do this. He can't back out. What kind of spiritual leader would say, I can't do this? He didn't have a choice. So finally we go outside. My husband swears I still did not have my decision made at that point. The pressure was on. It's dark out. All you can see are the coals. He decides to go for it. I lose him in the crowd. And finally I find Maxine Kay, who's in her 80s. I'm following someone in her 80s who paneled me in 1994 as a new minister. And once again, she's coming through and I'm following her. So guess I'm doing it. As I get to the head of the line, I see that my husband's on the other side. I had completely missed him. And I'm thinking, oh, please, just let me get this over with. So it was my turn to be on the spotlight. John Waterhouse and my husband, John, are both calling me to the other side. It's now or never. I go for it, keeping my eyes on them, ignoring the sidelines. Yes, there are some cheers of encouragement, but I can't dare look to the side because then I'm going to get off track. So I keep going, ignoring them, quickly walking, and I finish. What a test of mind over matter. And I'm going to give a hand to those in the room who said that they did it, because it is something that you really have to prepare for. When we got back to the room, I washed and examined my feet. To my surprise, there was only a couple little nicks, little marks, which were surprisingly all gone by the next morning. It was a moment that I'll never forget. Now, it wasn't until the next day when we were driving home that it came to me, it dawned on me that I am the daughter of a fireman. I was the daughter of a fireman. My dad died almost 40 years ago, staying longer in a building than he was supposed to, trying to put out a fire. So I felt like I was not alone and that this was kind of a win for both of us. So what if I would have stayed, in my comfort zone and decided not to walk? I would have missed all that. What if I knew how to spiritually prepare myself ahead of time? I could have done without all of that angst, right? So vulnerability is our friend. It's our growing edge. And as you know, there are many things that can make us feel vulnerable. Conditions are all around us. It can be a scary world when we don't know that there is more to life than what we're seeing and experiencing. Now, the hot burning coals are really like some of the conditions in our lives. There are always going to be coals to walk across in our physical lives. The loss of a loved one, the ending of a job, a new president, everyday challenges. And this is true for us all, no matter who we are. We are all in this together. That being said, while we are all in this one life of spirit together, that being said, we don't have to move through life as a collective. We do, but we don't, really. We are all in this together. We're all moving around, traffic and everything else. But we don't have to move through life as a collective. We don't have to wait for others to get on the same page as us. Some of you who are in a partnership or a marriage or, have a close one know that, you can't always wait for the other person to get on the same page as you. Our growth patterns are different. Different things are happening for each one of us. So we, as individuals, still have to move forward with our own plans and our own dreams. It's not that we're, being selfish, but we are. We are single-minded to taking care of ourselves, because that's why we're here. And it can all work together with your partner, whoever they may be, if it's done correctly. So the real progress is really an inside job that we must all do for ourselves. Doesn't matter who we are. Individually, we have to move across those coals as quickly as possible, and that may be getting through our emotions as quickly as possible, because if we lose sight of the bigger picture, focusing on the hot coals under our feet, or the conditions of the world, and let those catch us, get caught up in that, then we will suffer. Then we will suffer. We will endure pain. And just because the human race as a whole is still caught up in fear and suffering, does not mean that we have to live that way too. We don't have to live that way too. We have a choice. Others' experiences don't have to be our reality. We get to choose. And the secret is, I was wondering about all this preparation that John was doing with us before we walked those coals. But that really is the key to living life, is spending time in preparation to walk whatever coals we might be on our path. Our spiritual practices are key. Upping our spiritual practices may be even more key as we go to keep us in alignment with our greater truth. Pre-paving the way can help us to avoid some of those coals, maybe not even attract some of them. We may not even have to cross over them because they may not exist for us, right? So the truth is, we are invincible beings, and the world is our playground, and we have, as Abraham said, so much contrast to pick from. So much I like that and I don't like that. And we're creating. We have more really to create with than we've ever had before. It's really like, we're living a dual life. It's a little schizophrenic because we're living in these physical bodies in a physical world, and yet we're playing this other spiritual game that really is the main game in town. Even though not many people know that, or many people remember that. Or we forget it in certain situations. So it's our job to sift through that contrast that we're seeing, take what we can use, what is of value to us, and we can't let the appearance of danger, disappointment, or even failure keep us from being pulled by a greater vision of what could be. Something greater wants to happen for us all, obviously, and something greater wants to happen for us individually. So just like for me, the sidelines were filled with people cheering me on. The sidelines are filled with people who want to cheer you on as you are taking that direct path across the coals to the best of your ability. And that's why we're here as a center, to help with the preparation of what you have to go through as individuals in your own life, and as what we have to go through collectively together in this world. In the beloved community which we are studying, it says, everything that we do shares in the ongoing creation of our universe. Everything that we do shares in the ongoing creation of our universe. We are in this together. The human race is mastering, whether it wants to or not, whether it knows what's ahead or not, it's mastering that in-between place, that void, that abyss, the place, it's the new territory that we find ourselves in. And as we do this, we become stronger and we become more our true selves, our real selves. Pema Chodron, the Buddhist nun, says, fear is a natural reaction to moving closer to the truth. A natural reaction to moving closer to the truth. So let's have the courage to face the truth together, as we know that the truth always sets us free. And the truth is the principles that we believe in stand no matter what. They stand. They're not changeable. The truth is that we as spiritual beings are unchangeable as well. We are resilient. We are perfect, whole, complete. We are invincible as spirit, the spirit of us. Life is always wanting to express itself through us in greater ways. And so it is doing that through us, and it will not disappoint us for allowing it to come through us in more expansive, loving, healthy ways. So we owe it to ourselves as individuals and collectively as this beautiful Center for Spiritual Living Nashville, this community, to dream big and exemplify heaven on earth. Live the dream. We are working with a power and a presence that knows how to do that, knows how to make all things new. I love the words of Jesus the Christ. I am in this world, but not of it. We are in this world, but not of it. We are in this world, but we are really of another world where we are so much more than we appear to be. So much more than we appear to be. It's up to us to lead the way out of a fear-based world into one of love. So let's begin. Namaste. Thank you.
May your life be filled with joy and prosperity in every way. Learn more about our programs or contact one of our practitioners at our website, cslnashville.org. You may also want to follow us on Facebook at CSLNASH. You can make a big difference with your financial gift at loveCSLN.com. Please share the link to this program with a friend and join us again next Sunday. Have a wonderful week.